In this video I'm going to show you how to answer certain questions about a function that is given by the formula. So here we have a function g of x that is an absolute value function, and to find the domain of this function we simply have to consider all the constraints. Since absolute value as an operation doesn't have any constraints, we may conclude that g of x, or the domain of g of x function, is the entire number line. To evaluate this function at 5, we simply have to replace x with the value 5. So g of 5 is 2. Now what does it mean to solve this equation? So to solve this equation means we replace the g of x with what it stands for, so with this absolute value expression, and as a result we have an equation in one variable, which we definitely know how to solve from algebra. So to solve it, we're going to isolate the absolute value and then split it into two equations and then solve each one individually. So the solution to this equation, there are two solutions, -2 and 6. Now once we learn how to work with inputs outputs, now we can look for the x-intercept. So what does it mean to find the x-intercepts? So that means to solve this equation. So if I want to find the x-intercepts, I have to set up the equation similar to the one in part 3. This time we set it equal to 0. So x minus 2 minus 1 equals 0 means x minus 2 equals 1 with absolute value, and splitting it into 2, as we learned in algebra, means we have these two linear equations. So x is either 3 or 1. So there are two solutions, 1 and 3. And now to find the y-intercept means we have to evaluate g at 0. So that means we simply replace x with 0. So g of 0 is 1.